we can just go on discussing and talking about it for a long time, but in the context of what I mentioned, what are the key takeaways? I think we need to avoid short-termism. We need to focus on building long-term. Sorry, I'm pontificating here, but this is something, these are mantras which we need to remind ourselves off and on. So we need to focus on building long-term investor value. We need to build trust through transparency and simplicity. Keep the things simple. Again, going back to too many schemes or too much jargon and so on. Beware of the slippery slope. Seemingly small compromises can snowball into bigger issues. And, I looked up at what Mr. Raju, when Satyam happened, he wrote in his letter to the board, and all of you know this was a big fraud of about 7,000 crores, involved fake invoices, inflated revenues, non-existent bank balances, understated liabilities. So what Mr. Ramalinga Raju explained, he explained how an initial cover-up for poor performance escalated. And I'll just read out, it is from his letter. So he says, what started as a marginal gap between actual operating profit and the one reflected in the books continued to grow over the years. It has attained unmanageable proportions as the size of the company's operations grew over the years. Then he also says, which became a very famous quote, it was like riding a tiger, not knowing how to get off without being eaten. There's more to it, but I'll pause with that. So the point is, any slippery slope has to be arrested in time, has to be dealt with effectively in time before it becomes too big to handle. Next bullet is more for distributors or the sales people of AMCs. Apply the family test. Ask yourself whether you would be doing and saying exactly the same thing if your family member was the investor. That's the true test, and it's very simple, right? It's basically facing the mirror. So, mere lip service to ethical conduct, as I said, you may have very fantastic, and today AI tools can give you don't even have to, they can give you a fantastic statement to keep, and they can design the framework. But what matters here is the implementation. You have to walk the talk. Just the talk and having statements is not good enough. You must, of course, I would ideally like every AMC to say that we believe in strong ethical behavior in our company. Make a public statement. But don't just leave it at that. You should have very studied framework below that statement in terms of various tools, various mechanisms, various frameworks to achieve that goal. And you should be able to demonstrate that. That's what my next point is. Demonstrate evidence of commitment to fair and ethical behavior, to inspire trust of regulators and other stakeholders. We can sleep easy. If there's an evidence of commitment to fair and ethical behavior, it becomes, we are preparing ourselves for more principle-based regime than a very granular rule-based regime. I will pause with that. Thank you very much. You've been very patient with me. Thank you.